Hi, I've been off for a bit. I got a bit in my head, and um, this is so difficult to live up to continuing to produce this content for the past 3+ years. I've been following this industry of crypto, especially geared towards XRP, trying to tell people about it that would listen. In the process, when I talk to people, there is interest at points, a bit of confusion. Every so often, there is the look back into me of what the hell are you talking about? This sounds crazy. Um, you're gonna lose all your money, and those looks are the ones that stick with me. And also, as this journey continues, it's really scary to have found something that I believe in so deeply, to see uh, things outplaying in real time, but the price not jumping to the level of what I see happening. And it's hard to show up on camera and not only say I believe in this before I press play, but also to convey to other people that the world is changing and it's changing really quickly. I'm not sure if you're aware, if you've been tuning in to the news lately, but since my last video, there's been so many huge transformations in the sector of crypto and blockchain and regulation, especially in the United States. In the past week, uh, the regulators have pushed forward three crypto regulation bills. Um, One called the Clarity Act, the other one is called the Genius Act, and the third, I can't think of it right now, and maybe there's not a third, but they're huge bills that push forward the idea of stablecoin regulation, clarity around what's the security, what's not, who would regulate it, the SEC versus other parts of the government, and if companies can trade uh, and use this technology. And so for the past few years, there's been a lack of clarity. And so a lot of big companies and organizations have not been able to actually implement this technology. And so most of the price engagement, if not all of the price engagement that we've seen and witnessed, has been over Bitcoin and Ethereum. And all of those price movements have been related to speculation, meaning that people look at the coin and they speculate because of its either its scarcity with Bitcoin or of its use, how many people are using it. The price is attached um, to this speculative idea. And so now, all of a sudden, within this week, we've seen stablecoin regulation happen in the United States and also push forward in other parts of the world. And so basically, what that means, because I even had a friend that called me and was like, which stablecoin should I put money in? And the thing is, with stablecoins, they're actually pegged to either the US dollar or pegged to a stable asset. So they're not going to fluctuate as tokens will, and especially if you're doing this for an investment purpose. Stablecoins are literally just a stable asset that continue to hold their value, holding stability within this market that moves really fast, or within this technology that moves really fast. And so basically what you put in is what you'll get out. So if you put $100 in, you'll get $100 out. This is kind of what it is. So um, anyways, all these new companies, now that there is this new stablecoin regulation that has come through, have announced that they are launching their own stablecoins, which is amazing. and things I would have never thought would be happening this quickly. In the past week, I've heard that PayPal is launching a stablecoin, Amazon is thinking about launching a stablecoin. Um, um, I think uh, J.P. Morgan is thinking about launching a stablecoin. A new company, Revolt, or not new, but Revolt, which is an online bank, is launching a stablecoin. And all this is amazing. And the reason I think it's amazing is because this is just leading us to a technology that I think XRP is the answer for. And so basically, a stablecoin in the most simplest form is basically you'll be able to purchase a stablecoin from Amazon or from any of the people that you bank with or do business with. And with their stablecoin, they'll be able to offer you cheaper fees for things or discounts or loyalty rewards because you'll be able to trade in your money for a stablecoin that works within their ecosystem. And then they can audit everything. They can see what you bought. They can expedite the billing and the closing and the finalization of transactions really, really easily. And so this would be really, really great for the internal workings of businesses. And it might even help you because you'll get discounts on certain things. And so this is cool that we're being led into this new world. But where this begins to become interesting and why I still am sticking next to XRP is because these stablecoins that work with Amazon or other entities will, in order for them to be useful and to be valuable for merchants and business owners, they're going to need to be able to be interoperable, which means that the Amazon stablecoin can be used on another ecosystem or transferred very easily into another currency or another type of stablecoin. Otherwise, if the customer is stuck, meaning they put their money in the Amazon stablecoin and all they can do is use their stablecoin at Amazon, it doesn't sound that useful unless there's amazing deals or incentives to use those things. But eventually, or at some point, the person is going to want to cash out and either get all their money out so they can use it elsewhere or be able to take their money that's an Amazon stablecoin and use it elsewhere, which is where the interoperability comes in. And so I think it's really exciting that all these companies are bringing forward these stablecoins. But I think what is more exciting is that they're going to need businesses and technology like XRP to actually run the rails for these products to interoperate with each other, to move quickly, to finalize payments in fractions of a second. And so we're being lined up as we lead into this new world for what I believe is XRP to be the answer. And right now, XRP is really quiet. We're still waiting for the SEC lawsuit that was begun with President Biden under his leadership that is now coming to a close hopefully soon. I think the last thing that we've heard is April 15th. There will be the opportunity for the SEC to either drop the case or decide to continue the appeal. Ripple or XRP has already dropped their cross appeal towards the SEC, and I've even heard rumors that they've paid the fine that the SEC that's asked for. And so I think it's very interesting that as all these companies are saying yes to stablecoins, yes, we're launching a new stablecoin, but the question is, what are these stablecoins going to run on top of? What technology are they going to use to make what we see and what we need from these companies to be fast, quick, easy, effortless, thoughtless, yeah. Because if I'm being asked to use a stablecoin for any of these new companies, and if the money that I'm transferring my cash into a stablecoin to use on their ecosystem, if I can only use it for Amazon or if I can only use it for Apple or whatever it is, it's not that interesting for me. But if there's a way that I can load up my stablecoin that I buy from Amazon and be able to use it at other businesses, other promotions, other incentives, this becomes very, very interesting. And so this is where I think we're headed to. I think and I see that for the last 3 years, I've been thinking about and following this technology, and we're being led right into the open doors of a new financial system. And so I've been finding it hard of how do I get back on here and like how do I talk about this thing, because to me it really feels like we're knocking on the door of something really huge and it's happening right now. And when I talk about it to people, they're like, what are you talking about? Where is it? I don't understand. But we've had a great few weeks with new regulatory clarity that's coming out of the United States. And as these stable coins that we hear of all these companies that are launching them, they're going to need to run on top of something in order to be productive, in order to be useful, in order for consumers to gravitate towards them. Because at the end of the day, a stablecoin is basically a gift card, more or less, with a gift card on steroids, because it's only usable for a certain ecosystem. So that means the money that we put into it can only be used one to one paired to whatever dollar or whatever type of currency they have, but the stablecoin can only be used within that ecosystem. And what is gonna happen, or what needs to happen, is interoperability, which is a key component of XRP and what they have built on top of. And one thing I found very interesting is if you go and look at the Amazon website, uh, they lead you almost directly to XRP, because the Amazon stablecoin that they're building is built with AWS, which I think is Amazon. I'm not even sure the name, but you can look it up on the website. And XRP Ledger runs this technology, and so I think it's really cool that we're literally being shown what's happening. And so, make right decisions. I've been really sick. I've been really lazy to get on here because it feels crazy to talk about this thing. I don't want to sound like a snake salesman, snake oil salesman, or whatever. And I also get tired of like talking to people and they look at me like I'm crazy. And the thing is, we have a new financial system that's being born right in front of our eyes, and we just have to open our eyes, and we have to stay committed and stay patient. And this stuff is so boring. It's so boring. But like Brad Garlinghouse said, the things that are boring are the things that the financial system will use as its underbelly. That's the things that they will trust, because they need things that are boring. They need things that move slow. They need things that move with trust and understandability. And so, as we're moving into this world of new regulatory clarity, I also found it was very interesting through my research that there are new websites that are coming online that are rating stable coins, and they do this of their audibility, how long they've been around, different sorts of aspects. And so Ripple, RLUSD, their stablecoin is rated A plus, I believe, or A. It was really good, the highest. And Tether, one of the top that's had market share of stablecoins, has had a I think a D minus or something. And as these companies are coming on board and they're starting to look at who they're going to use and which they're going to trust, we're being led right to the answer. So make the right decision, be patient. I'm coming back with more information. It is hard to, one, stick to making content, to two, stick to making content when the world says you're crazy, to three, stick to making content when it feels like nothing is happening, and four, stick to making content when it feels like the world is changing and nothing is happening simultaneously. This has been the hardest journey to sit with and stick with and stay focused and remind myself of why I'm here. But the truth is, we're headed towards somewhere, and I think XRP is the solution. So I'll be back. I just want to get on again and just say, hey, what's up? I'm here. I'm still on the XRP train. I'm on the XRP train more than ever, and things are moving. And I'm loading this video up just as it is. I gotta just get this stuff out, because otherwise I'll hold on to it for perfection, needing to be right, needing to all these things. But I'm back. We're going to talk about XRP. And before I close, because my ego wants to share this, I have zero desire to be sitting on this and to be trying to be an influencer. This is the last thing I want. But I feel like this is the moment to talk about this thing. A shift is upon us, and there's a new financial system that is here now. Make sure you're making decisions to be a part of the new financial system. Otherwise, you will be left behind. See ya.